Okay guys, in this video we want to run through and show you the algebra behind finding the equation of the circumscribed circle. Okay, so what we have to do is of course find the where the perpendicular bisectors of two sides intersect. Again, we need to find where the perpendicular bisectors of two sides intersect. So that means we have to find the midpoints of two sides and the equation of the line passing through that midpoint at a right angle, which is to mean it has a perpendicular slope. Okay, so the easiest one here to go with is AC, because AC is, as you can see, a horizontal line. We can eyeball its midpoint, and again, when you proceed with these, I very strongly suggest that you do a sketch of it, at least plotting the points, looking at the triangle, so you can get an idea of which might be the easiest points to find. That is, which segments of the triangle would be the easiest to work with. So here, the midpoint, we'll label this as point D, is the average of the x-coordinates, which is -8. Plus 4, which is -4/2, which is -2, and of course it has the same y coordinate because it's on the same horizontal line, so that is -9. All right, now of course we want to have the line that is going through that point and is perpendicular. Now the nice thing about this is segment AC, the equation AC is a vertical line, so its equation is y equals -9. Okay, now we're going to label this center down here that we already knew was H, B, H, or GB even we could call it GB, is the equation x equals -2. So that's nice and easy to find. Okay, so we have that right away. We have this line as x equals -2, because all vertical lines have the equation x equals whatever the value of x is. All horizontal lines have the equation y equals whatever the value of y is equal to. Now let's go and find the midpoint of BC, and the midpoint of BC works with -2 plus 4/2, comma, -7 plus -9/2, which the midpoint of that is going to be, okay, -2 plus 4 is 2/2, which is 1 as the x value, and this is going to give us -16/2, which is -8 as the y value. The next thing we need is the slope of BC. The slope of BC, remember the slope. Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that slope is equal to -9 minus -7 over differences in the x's, 4 minus -2. So that gives us minus and negative, okay, as we know, turns positive, okay? So that's -9 plus 7, which is -2, over -4 minus a -2 is -4 plus 2, which is 6. So our slope is -2/6, which of course we should reduce to -1/3. Now, the perpendicular of BC has the slope perpendicular is the negative reciprocal, which would turn that positive, and reciprocate 1/3 to +3. Okay? Now, we want the equation, and let's plot this point up here. We've got the point now. We've got the equation I mean, we got the point which is 1, -8 as the midpoint, and we want the perpendicular bisector, so we can just sketch that in here. Perpendicular bisector, and we want the equation of the line whose slope is 3, and it goes through the midpoint, which is 1, -8. Very important. That's why you found the midpoint, because we need the midpoint and we need the perpendicular slope. Okay, so we go to our point slope form to find that equation. Okay, that equation, of course, is going to be y minus y1 over x minus x1. Okay, which is going to equal the slope. Okay, which is y minus a -8, watch your signs, over x minus 1 is equal to 3. We can cross multiply, take care of that sign change there. Y plus 8 is equal to 3 times x minus 1, which is y plus 8 is equal to 3x minus 3, which will give us y is equal to 3x plus 11. I'm sorry, minus 11. Okay? Which looks to be about right in terms of where that is. Okay? Now, okay, the last thing we want to do is, well, not quite the last, but almost there, okay, is to find the point of intersection, okay, between this line and the other perpendicular bisector, which is x equals -2. Okay, so that is kind of nice and easy because we can just do a substitution. Otherwise, we have to do a systems of equations, but that we have to know how to do that if that pops up. Okay, so y is simply going to equal 3 times the -2 minus 11, which gives us -6 minus 11. So y is equal to -17. Now, of course, what we're after is the equation of the circle, which is x minus h, the quantity squared, so that's x minus the -2, which makes that x plus 2, the quantity squared, plus y minus the -17, which makes that y plus 17, the quantity squared, equals the radius squared. Now, how do we find the radius? Well, take a look at our picture up here, okay? Our center point has now been determined, -2, -17. So the radius is either from H to C, from H to A, or from H to B. Well, it looks like H to B is going to be the easiest to find because HB is a vertical line. And if we want the distance between 2 points on a vertical line, we just subtract their y coordinates. Okay? And if we subtract the y coordinates, okay, -7 minus the -17 is -7 plus 17, which is 10, so our radius is 10. Otherwise, we would apply the distance formula between H and C, or H and A, in which case you should get 10. I don't want to make this video any longer, so we're going to understand the easiest way out was to go from H to B, find that to be 10, and now we have the radius, and now we can say 10 squared is equal to 100. And that is the equation of our circumscribed circle. The circle containing the vertices of the triangle with coordinates A, B, and C as shown here. So that is how we approach it from an algebraic standpoint. And you have a couple exercises to do, and do it by that method. Okay, there you have it.